Welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, where two best friends, separated by geography but united in their love for musical theater, review and recap movie musicals. Each episode we will dissect a new movie musical, ranging from the 1930s all the way up to today, all the while giggling, snorting, and generally being absolute dunces. So powder those noses and tape down those boobs. We're about to start rolling.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Maria.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
Hi!
Hello!
And welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast.
I am Grace.
And I am Anna. And this episode is Kiss Me, Kate.
Oh boy!
The 1953.
1953, yes.
Hey.
I hated this movie.
I can't wait to talk about it. I definitely need to preface that, I went to theater school. I know, not personally William Shakespeare, but I'm familiar with William Shakespeare, although Shakespeare's not something I ended up focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
I know, the gist of the Taming of the Shrew, and we'll talk about this later, but there are many moments of, maybe ad-libbed Shakespeare.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure if it was actual, play Shakespeare.
I can help with this. So I had never seen Kiss Me, Kate. Obviously, I had heard some of the songs because they're super, super famous. But I have worked on 2 productions of The Taming of the Shrew.
Ah, good.
And both of them were my worst experiences in theater. So I was already predestined to hate this because I hate The Taming of the Shrew.
Right.
It's also just a bad play, you know?
It's a problematic play.
Yeah. In our modern day of, women are good, it's not a good play.
That is not the theme. That is not the thesis of this
That is
of that
not
play.
the thesis of the play or this movie.
I'm so glad that this is a movie that you have also not seen, because I was this has been 0 for 4 with me. We just rename this podcast Movies Anna Hasn't Seen.
It's Grace is consistently shocked at Anna's lack of movie watching.
All right.
All right.
Let the record show that this movie was intended for 3D release.
Yeah, that was so weird to read.
And there were many moments in this film where I said, why? To choices made. And looking back, I'm oh, I think that was a specific 3D choice. That would have played much better if I had seen it better, is in quotation marks. But it would have made more sense had I viewed it in 3D. I did not, dear reader.
The myriad of objects that they just threw at the camera.
The direct eye contact.
Direct eye contact and then just throwing things at the audience. Wild.
I bring this up because we start with a lovely Goldwyn lion roaring. We get a pastoral countryside backdrop, ? And then 3 big diamonds twist out of the background towards us. And one says kiss, one says me, and one says Kate. And that was the first moment where I went, oh boy!
Yeah, it just continued from there, because then they show the names of everyone in this, and Bob Fosse is one of them. I could not handle it. I had to pause the movie immediately. I'm we're less than 30 seconds into this bitch. What do I do?
Scene 1. We are in a very fancy apartment, and we see a man smoking a pipe, picking up a script or a score that is titled Kiss Me, Kate.
Yes.
This man has a butler
Yes.
named Paul. This man is wearing a purple smoking jacket. This is Fred.
Did you notice that the smoking jacket had embroidered on the pocket the 2 masks of theater, the smiling and
God
the frowning
damn
masks?
I'm glad I missed that.
This is too much.
Is it velvet? It could be.
It could be. Who's to say? Anyway.
Surprise! Ding dong! The doorbell rings. The butler named Paul goes to answer it. Surprise! Guess who's here? Cole Porter.
Another moment where I had to pause. There were so many moments where I just had to take a breath.
Cole Porter is a character.
The character of Cole Porter, not the real Cole Porter, because The real Cole Porter, he had a horse riding accident and was
He was
disabled.
in a wheelchair.
He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So they were just like, we're going to forget all of that and just have this young man pretend.
It should have been the first sign of, like, there is no fourth wall in this movie.
Truly.
But surprise, ding dong, Cole Porter's at the door.
Mhm.
He gets let in, and we kind of realize that this is a informal producer showcase. Fred is an actor, apparently a very, like, well-known actor,
Right.
and he has invited Cole to his home to do a presentation of this new musical he's working on called Kiss Me, Kate.
Mhm.
And this is all a ploy because Fred wants Cole to hire a woman named Lily to play Kathryn. The musical is obviously based on The Taming of the Shrew.
Yes.
And we learn that Fred and Kathryn were married, but they're now divorced. This is all a ploy because Fred wants to get Kathryn back.
Yes. I don't know if he wants to get her back, but he at least wants her to play the part.
Yeah.
And he's
obviously going to be playing Petruchio.
and directing. I hated that.
I forgot he was directing.
Yeah, it was awful.
We don't see the rehearsal process. We just, go
None of
straight
the
to
rehearsal.
final rehearsal.
Straight to bows. Also, I don't know if you noticed, he has a painted portrait of himself as Hamlet, question mark?
When I saw that, I was like, is Fred supposed to be Laurence Olivier?
Actually, yes. They wanted Laurence Olivier for this part. We hear another buzz on his doorbell, and it's just held until the butler enters. So it's just a constant buzz in the background.
And it's a lovely old-timey doorbell. Like, they don't make them like this anymore.
Exactly.
I can't even recreate the tone. I'm just like,
Well done.
I am a Foley
recreated
artist.
it perfectly. So it's buzz until they answer the door, and we open the door, and it is Lily. She has a phenomenal hat on. Honestly, her outfits, beautiful.
her hat.
Her hat.
Paul, the butler, accidentally calls her by her old married name.
And she corrects him.
Mm-hmm.
She comes in and starts judging things immediately, as you do.
Mm-hmm. She said she's only here to hear the script.
Of course, they start going through some of the music, specifically one of the songs that she would sing, which is called So in Love. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but later on in the play, she never sings this song.
Well, we don't see... Oh. Huh. Well, we don't... Listen.
So anyway, they sing, they're like, she'll
Kick that plot hole out of the side.
Fuck that plot. So we sing So in Love with You Am I. They choose this one because she's a sucker for a love song.
And it's a duet.
Yes, surprise, the song is a duet. Now, he starts singing, and I had to pause again. One, his voice. I love his voice.
It is like a lovely, silky baritone.
True baritone. And I was like, fuck, I recognize this voice. What do I know this voice from? So I paused and I looked up the actor. He played Frank Butler in the movie of Annie Get Your Gun, which was one of my core movies that I grew up with. And I was just like, oh shit, no wonder this dude is like one of my core memories of what a baritone should sound like. And I was very excited.
That is another movie I have never seen.
That's another one that is problematic. So then they're singing together this duet, and there's obviously chemistry between them.
Yeah, he tries to put his arm around her at one point, but she walks away. She looks over old photographs, because on his piano he has a bunch of photographs of them when they were married.
Yes, and of them in plays together.
But those photos are incredible.
Oh yeah, one of them is of him in Annie Get Your Gun, which is very silly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's amazing.
It was really good.
I also want to note very briefly, and then we'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
From the side, like his profile, he looks like John Cena. Yeah, you're welcome for that.
I've never imagined John Cena with a full head of hair, and it is a joy. So they finish the song. Lily is sort of softening to him. He's really laying it on thick, but she's not fully sold. She's like, would audiences believe that, I could be this person? He's like, you'd be a perfect shrew. And I'm just like, oops.
It's a good part for a good actress. It's a hard part. Like, you can rise to the task, kind of a line.
They're like, oh, you have another song? It's called I Hate Men. She almost accepts, but then the buzzer rings again.
Ding dong.
And a girl comes in and immediately takes off her coat, and she has this great bright pink fringe leotard on.
There's feathers.
Oh my god. She says she just came from the Cabana, like Copacabana.
Cabana.
I think? Yeah.
I think she's a showgirl.
I agree. So in she walks. Turns out that Fred wants her to play Bianca, and he is currently dating her.
Yes, she's here to read for Bianca. She calls Fred sweetie.
Oh,
Fred is in deep shit at this point.
This new girl turns to Lily and says, "I'm just nuts about your ex-husband." Who says something like that?
This girl. Her name is Lois.
Her name is Lois Lane.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
we're going to glide right over that.
Slide through that.
Ding dong. Guess who's at the door? A whole brass band. She brought her own band so she can perform Too Darn Hot for Cole to convince him that like she should be playing this part. Cole kind of turns to Fred and goes like, "That song's not in the show anymore."
Cut.
Fred's like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up."
So then the song starts, and we have it's such a weird song. It's such a weird song. But the interjections from the brass band are so strange.
So picture this. An entirely white, like 6-person brass band in white dinner jackets.
Sure.
Coming in. She is tap dancing and strip teasing her way around the room while she sings. And interspersed with her singing Too Darn Hot are what I would imagine would be like quote unquote jazz interjections. But it's just these white men going, "Cool, real good." It feels very out of place.
Oh man, it's so bad. It's this huge dance number. And honestly, this movie is the first movie that we've had that have had real dancing. So excited.
Real dancing.
Now, she's obviously an incredibly gifted tapper. However, it is obvious that the tapping is dubbed afterwards because the sounds don't quite match her feet, and she dubbed her own tapping noises afterwards.
It's not like she's just like flapping her feet around and then they put tap. Like she was actively tapping.
This wasn't like a Debbie Reynolds Singing in the Rain drama. She like did her own stuff. Yeah. But honestly, all I thought about was those poor neighbors underneath this apartment.
All I was thinking of was that poor coffee table.
That too. I'm like, you're scuffing the floors. Rude. You're not going to get your security deposit back.
And it's frantic tapping.
Yes.
And this is the first moment of what is definitely a theme with this movie, but specifically this character is just direct into camera eye fucking.
Oh my God.
She dances and plays most of this song not to the other characters in the scene, but directly into camera. And there's a lot of
it's such a weird
close-ups.
Choice.
It's such a weird choice, and it happens a lot in this film. And it was one of those moments where I was like, did this make more sense in 3D?
I don't think
I don't know. I don't know.
Not my favorite.
It was one thing when later in the film, when they were in the world of the play.
Right, because then they're interacting with the audience. That I bought. No. It was like this moment where I was just like, I'm uncomfortable. Anyway.
She finishes the song.
Then Cole Porter tells her, sorry, the number has been cut, but like, good job. So she starts pouting at Fred, and she thinks that they have decided to give that song to Lily instead of her. And this starts the cat fight between Lois and Lily that just goes on for the rest of the movie.
And neither Cole nor Fred try to clear this confusion up?
No, because they are men. And this argument is actually good for them.
This fight culminates in Lily saying she's not going to do the show. Besides, it'll conflict with her honeymoon, which is definitely a jab at Fred. She walks out of the apartment, but she stays in the hallway because the door is still open and she can hear them talking. And Fred has Cole Porter, can't believe he's a character, Fred has Cole play along with loudly talking and about giving Lois Lily's part.
Because Lois, the minute that Lily leaves, is like, I can play the part, and she gets on a table and says, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. Just like, what is happening?
Lois is a bad actor. I'm not saying Anne Margaret is a bad actor.
Yes,
I'm saying
Lois.
The character of Lois, who is an actor, is a bad actor.
So bad.
But it works. It gets Lily back in the room. She's going to do the show.
Cut to final rehearsal.
Opening night.
Doing the curtain call.
Anyone who's ever done a play ever knows that is left till the very last minute.
Oh yeah, no, like, audience is out there. We should figure out how we're
In
gonna
the
bow.
lobby. They're all on stage. Lily looks absolutely miserable.
So mad.
Fred and Lois are still kind of flirting, so clearly Fred and Lily haven't made nice.
So he's going through the curtsies, and, Lily does a very sort of demure, like, soft curtsy bow, and Lois is like, let me show off my underwear, and, like, lifts her skirts to do this big curtsy. Fred is like, yeah, Lily, you should take notes and bow like this. And Lily's wearing a very pencil skirt. I'm like, she physically can't.
She
like,
can't.
This isn't real.
Lily calls Fred a louse very
Yes.
loudly and storms off after all of this.
Fred sends Lois off to her dressing room because Bill is missing, who is one of the actors.
He sends her to her dressing room because Bill is missing?
Because they can't finish the bows because Bill is missing, is what I thought.
Oh, so it's like, go hang out in your dressing room.
Until
By
we
the
can
way,
find
has
Bill.
anyone seen Bill?
Yes.
And someone, I believe it's a stage manager, as Lois is going up the stairs to her dressing room, kind of whispers in her ear and says that Bill is prisoner to the Star Cab Company.
I don't know what that means.
It means he took a cab there and he can't pay his fare.
Ah, okay.
It's a theme.
Yes. So she goes outside and she finds Bill. Turns out he's a gambler, so he has gambled away all of his money. So she pays his debt to the cab. He kisses her, so surprise, she and Fred and Bill
Aren't exclusive.
They are not exclusive, or he doesn't know about this.
And he tries to get away from her because he thinks she's nagging him. She asks him if he's been gambling, and he says, yeah, I signed an IOU with Fred's name instead.
For $2,000, and do you know how much money that is today? $21,500.
Jesus Christ.
Right? So it turns out Bill's a gambler. He signed the IOU in Fred's name. Lois yells at him for jeopardizing this gig. Now they seem to be having a fight because it looks like Bill and Lois are a couple and they're sort of scamming Fred in order to promote their own careers.
I know for a fact Bill isn't crazy about Lois and Fred being an unofficial couple.
Right.
But he's definitely not doing anything about it.
Well, and that's also part of the reason I think why he signs Fred's name is because he's a little bit pissed about how they're promoting themselves and how she's promoting herself.
Fun fact.
Oh, yes.
In the 2019 Broadway revival, Corbin Bleu played Bill Calhoun.
Fuck off.
You didn't know that?
No!
Oh, yeah. Corbin Bleu of High School Musical days. And yeah, he was in that revival and he played this part.
I cannot. That is too much. Okay, I'm like just spouting consonants. I'm floored. So, Bill disappears whenever Fred shows up. Lois goes up to the roof to find Bill. And we start the song, Why Can't You Behave? This song is her asking him to just calm the fuck down, stop messing around.
Stop being so you.
Yes, stop all of this.
The guy who plays Bill Calhoun is clearly a very talented dancer. His acting is so weird, though. His acting is just all reacting to things that she says, and there's not an original thought in that beautiful empty skull of his.
Absolutely not. So he was trained in like acrobatics and ballet, and you can very much tell. So this dance number that it turns into is really, really great tap and trampoline dancing.
There are some hidden trampolines on the roof. I was like, there's no way, you're a good dancer, but you can't jump like that.
No. During the song, she hints at marriage, and he isn't into it, but they end the dance with a kiss. Cut to Fred and Lily's dressing rooms. They are next to each other and connected. Wild. He comes in, and she is aggressively filing her nails, and he hates the sound. Enter my favorite character,
Suzanne! Suzanne is Lily's servant, maid, personal assistant kind of character. She's an older French woman. She enters bringing Lily's dinner. Fred tells Suzanne to take it away because eating before a show gives Lily indigestion.
And she'll burp in his face during a love scene.
And Lily and Fred go back and forth of a give it here, take it away, give it here, take it away, until Suzanne goes, let's make up our mind, shall we?
I love her. Team Suzanne.
Team Suzanne.
Lily then gets a call from her fiancé, who is a cattle baron named Tex, who lives in Texas. Why is everyone from Texas in, like, the 1950s named Tex? I don't understand.
I don't know. Why are there so many gangsters in musicals?
So many gangsters. So it turns out Tex didn't come to the theater because the cattle are restless. Sure.
He's at the stockyards.
Lily puts on a
Massive.
honking rock of an engagement ring. Holy shit. Turns out today is Fred and Lily's 1-year divorce anniversary.
And she gives him a cork from their first bottle of champagne as a married couple.
And that's actually a really nice gift.
And they reminisce about their time together and the shows that they've done together, and they have a moment of connection.
And they sing a song together from the first show that they did together.
The song is called Wunderbar. I think the joke is that they were in the ensemble of this operetta. It's a duet, obviously. They have a fun bit of choreography where they open the doors to their adjoining dressing rooms, and they do just like the waltz in a circle through the dressing rooms, out into the hallway, through one door, back in through the other. And it ends with a big ol' kiss.
50s kiss.
Like mashing
of
faces
mouths.
together.
There is no technicality here.
No teeth were involved, just face. I looked it up because the height difference between the two of them is shocking. This man is 6'3", and she is 5'2".
Oh boy. So then they start chatting. They were wondering why they broke up.
Each blames the other for why they broke up.
And then a guy comes in to give them 15, and the expression on this guy's face is priceless. Just like, you got 15 minutes.
Fred leaves Lily. He goes back into his dressing room and, surprise, there are 2 gangsters in his dressing room.
Looking at themselves in the mirror.
These 2 goons' names are never said.
No.
According to the internet, their names are Lippy and Slug.
Great.
Their only defining characteristics is that Slug has a mustache and Lippy does not. That is how I kept them apart. They are just Goon 1 and Goon 2 in my brain. Surprise, surprise, they're here to collect the 2 G's for the IOU from Fred, and they have the piece of paper that Bill signed as Fred as like proof. They're like, hey, look, and he goes, that's not my signature.
They assume that he's lying. They're like, oh, everyone always forgets about their debts.
They do. Oh, thank God you caught that. They don't say debt, they say debt.
And they have a lot of mispronounced word like elocutia instead of elocution and magnesia instead of amnesia. It was
a lot of malapropism.
Yes. So the gangsters leave and they pass the butler, Paul.
Paul arrives and gives a bouquet to Suzanne for Lily, assumed from Fred. Lily receives them and, oh, it's the same flowers as from her wedding bouquet.
So Lily decides not to eat for Fred, and Suzanne bitches at her in French, which I love. They're getting into costume, and her blue eyeshadow is from the bottom of her eyebrow all the way down. It's so amazing.
But Lily sings So in Love, a reprise, just to herself about Fred, and she takes off her engagement ring.
Which she shouldn't have on anyway. You're in a play. Your character is not engaged.
Ignore that plot hole.
I have so many notes specifically about you guys are actors on a stage. What are you doing?
Oh my god. Cut to Fred's dressing room. Fred is in costume now and looks like straight up Sinbad.
So they are in matching red unitard onesies. He has a fake beard and a hoop.
A single gold hoop earring.
Oh my god.
The costumes are a callback to like, I'm gonna butcher this bit of dramaturgy, but like the court jester kind of unitards / like the idea of like the traveling player, the traveling theater actor. It makes no sense now, but the costumes are somewhat historically accurate to the time period that they had set the play in.
Yes.
It's a lot of color block.
Oh boy. It turns out that the flowers that were sent were meant for Lois and not for Lily.
Paul screwed up.
And there was supposed to be a card in it that said Lois's name, but that card is missing.
And before Fred can have a single thought in his brain, Lily comes in and says, "Thank you for the flowers." And before Fred can say anything, they get their places call.
Fred asks her, "Oh, you didn't read the card?" And she's like, "What card?" And then Suzanne bursts into the room like, "I have a card."
It's not in any dialogue, but I think Suzanne has read the card and knows the flowers weren't for Lily.
100%. She is far too smug about this card.
Mm-hmm. Suzanne's like, "I have the card," and Lily's like, "Let me see the card," and Fred's like, "You don't need to see the card." And he makes something up on the spot telling her what he wrote on the card for her. It's just like professations of love, and she swoons a little, and then she takes the card from Suzanne before Fred can stop her, but she puts it inside her costume next to her heart. So he can't get it, but she hasn't read it yet.
Yes.
Ugh. It's showtime. Another moment that definitely read better in 3D, the curtain parts on stage, and I almost said pallbearers, and that's not the right word, but two men
Different movie.
holding a banner walk towards camera, and it was definitely like, whoa, cool in 3D.
Yes.
Less cool in 2D.
So it's a bunch of weird chorus circus bits of like juggling and fire and throwing things at the camera, and then we open into the most insane opening number I have ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have treadmill dancing.
I don't understand the construction of this proscenium stage.
We have the stage, but then
Yes.
somehow in the same universe there is also like a side bit of the stage that just has a simple backdrop and like a long treadmill. But first, before we see this, we have our four main actors come down the stairs. We have Fred as Petruchio, Lily as Kathryn, Lois as Bianca, and Bill plays Lucentio, who is one of the suitors of how do you say it? Lucentio? Sure.
I think so.
You've done the show more than I.
It honestly changes based on the director and how they want it pronounced.
On how Italian they want to be.
Exactly.
But they stroll down the stairs as they sing the opening number.
We open in Venice.
The song is about how we are these four players and we travel all over Italy doing the shows. And the thing with the treadmill is they move downstage to stage left and they get on this treadmill that is going. And
yes.
It's like in old-timey movies when you were on a horse and they just made the background move behind you. So, like, a map of Italy is moving behind them, and it's the joke of, like, we go to this city, then we go to this city, then we get to this city, then we're back to this city, and it starts all over again.
Yes.
Sorry, that was a very long description of a very quick song. I'm sorry.
It is so okay, because it was so boggling.
It really set the tone for
oh my god, for this whole bad play. And so it ends with with a red smoke bomb.
God, where did he get a smoke bomb? In a theater?
Where is your fire safety person? Okay, my question at this moment while I was watching was, how much of this play are we gonna watch? And turns out it is most of it.
The whole thing.
So the prologue starts to happen, and it is Fred as player.
Like a narrator Petruchio.
Yeah, like a narrator. Giving introduction to Bianca and Kate and their dad. So the prologue happens, characters are introduced.
Wait. Bing
Okay.
boom bong. Harp logistics with Anna. This is the second movie we have seen where there is a harp and they are not harping how you harp. Okay. They're in a beginning of the play tableau. Bianca is sitting with a harp. First off, she's got it on the wrong shoulder. You play a harp traditionally with it on your right shoulder. Sorry, this will be really quick because the two
I'm here
main
for it.
pegs
Go as long as you need.
on the right, and she's playing. We can't tell because we're seeing it backwards. I'm assuming it's a pedal harp, but if it were a lever harp, we would see you need it to be on your right shoulder because on the left are all the levers for how you change your key. Okay, there's that, and then also she has these long red nails which look great.
I have wanted long nails my whole goddamn life, and you can't have long nails playing the harp. They have to be short. And also, my harp teacher always said not to paint your nails red because it would look like your fingers are bleeding. So mad about this harp bit, and it's like 5 seconds.
Oh man, I have to tell you, this moment happened, and she showed up with a harp, and I was like, Anna's gonna be mad, and I don't know why.
You were right. And it never comes back. She's never seen with it again.
No.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Bianca starts crying because she says she wants to get married, and then we start the dance number, Tom, Dick, or Harry, and this is with Lucentio, Gremio, and Hortensio.
In skin-tight bodysuits. But first up, Bianca is crying because she just wants to get married to literally anyone. She is the horny icon that we need.
Anyone. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry, any Harry, Tom, or Dick.
This song was yet again ruined for me because of all the direct eye contact.
God, it was so bad, but the dancing was good.
Yeah.
Dancing was really fun. But
she's a good dancer. They were good dancers.
Around her, yeah.
It wasn't just the eye contact. It was her I'm excited to be dancing face.
Yeah.
That was smiling, but like just like a little too wide. Mouth was a little too open.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and like it didn't change.
Yeah, there was no subtlety or like nuance.
No.
In this dance
and
number.
like maybe that's a character choice because I would fully believe Bianca does not know the meaning of subtlety.
No, not at all.
This song ends. Kate comes out of the house and yells at Bianca to come inside. Bianca goes inside, but not before throwing a rose to one of her 3 fuckboys. Now, Grace, how did Patriarchy come to town?
Enter Patriarchy with a wild hat on a live donkey. It's so much. This hat, Anna, it covered half of his face. When he stood and looked stage left, his entire face was covered to the audience. Anna!
There's not a hat acting in this movie, but
oh man,
Patriarchy has come to town, and Lucentio greets him. He's like, "Yeah, what are you doing here? I'm here to study." And Patriarchy's like, "Well, you should have a little fun." And Patriarchy starts to sing the song, "I've come to wive it wealthily in Padua." AKA, I would like a sugar mommy.
He says all of these lines where it's like, doesn't matter what she looks like, doesn't matter what she sounds like, as long as I get a fuck ton of money for marrying her.
And of course, naturally, all the men sing along with him, because the patriarchy.
Of course. That's the whole, honestly, kiss me, Kate, the patriarchy. At the end of the song, the boys tell Patriarchy about Kate.
Yeah, they're like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
But then, because Bianca was only able to get married if Kate is married.
Yeah, sorry, that was a pivotal plot point we missed.
Totally just flew
that
right
was
by.
From the prologue. The father says that.
The boys decide that they are going to have Patriarchy marry Kate so that one of them can then marry Bianca.
Mm-hmm. And from inside the house, we hear Kate screaming, "Bianca!" And Patriarchy's like, "Challenge accepted."
So Lucentio then tells Kate's dad about Patriarchy.
Wait. Really,
sorry, am I skipping things?
No, I just want to clarify something. So we have the 3 lovers and Patriarchy out in the town square. Bianca comes out of the house suddenly, chased by Kathryn, unclear why, and the dad follows behind. Lucentio goes over to the dad and whispers Patriarchy's proposal, essentially, in his ear. All the guys, including the father, go back into the house. Kate is left alone on stage, and now we get the song, "I Hate Men." Take it away.
The title basically says it all. It is also the longest song. There are 8 choruses and refrains, and it's
also just not
bananas.
A good song. Like Kathryn Howard, I think is her name.
It doesn't show her voice at all.
She's a good singer, and it's not a good arrangement to showcase her voice.
Not at all.
It's the long-ass song. This is my least favorite song in the show for many reasons, but there's no choreography. It's very weird posturing of just like a lot of hands on hips and like looking staunch while singing.
And just breaking the set.
On Wikipedia, their summary of this song is, Kate hates the idea of getting married, destroying a tavern. And
that
that's
is
what she
super
does.
correct.
She just has a metal tankard in her hand. She slams it down on the table on beat every now and then she just fucking destroys this set piece. I'm assuming it's part of the play and not just Lily going crazy.
One can only hope. And it ends with her throwing a goblet into the camera / into the audience.
Again, like a jump scare that read better in 3D. Anyway, the father comes out and it's like, hey, this dude from Verona's gonna marry you.
Kate's like, fuck that.
A gentleman from Verona has proposed marriage. She goes, then he best go back there. Ugh. Yep. And she storms off. And the father just like sits down defeated. Patriarchy comes up to the father and he's like, I've heard wonderful things about Kathryn. They negotiate her dowry.
Then Patriarchy says, we want to make this official, so why don't you go and get the notary? And Dad runs off stage with both hands straight into the air.
No, you know what he said? You know what Patriarchy said? He goes, go get thee to a notary. I did a goddamn spit take. As someone who, like, immediately understood the reference and then also is a notary, I want that engraved.
That line is not a part of The Taming of the Shrew. Shakespeare did not internally reference his other plays within this play. So then Kate comes out and starts yelling at him, and Patriarchy starts singing, Were Thine That Special Face.
She's up on the balcony of the house, and she's holding the bouquet from earlier.
That Fred had gotten her.
Yes.
We're going to have to be very clear about when it's Kate and Patriarchy and when it's Fred and Lily.
That really starts to splinter now.
Now they're starting to, get into their real lives and not just their characters. Okay.
So Kathryn has come out on stage, as in the play. She's, to rebuff Patriarchy, and Patriarchy starts to sing, Were Thine That Special Face. Kathryn is up on the balcony, shifting to Lily's point of view. She's definitely just, living in the moment and, enjoying being wooed by Fred.
By this 6'3" baritone, which, sure, yes,
girl,
absolutely.
And she starts to reach into her blouse and pull out the note. And at this point, Fred, as Patriarchy, stood with his back to the audience and, motions for her not to read it while singing.
I have a comment. So, imagine this, dear listener. You are watching a play.
You have probably paid $200
money for this travesty. So you see Kate up on top of a balcony, and you see the back of Patriarchy. So he is singing into the back of the house. This is also 1953, so unclear on what mics were at this point. So honestly, you're probably
he's not singing to the back of the house. He's singing to the back of the stage.
Sorry, yes, that's what I meant. He's singing to the back of the stage. So, no mics. So, really, you probably can't hear much of what he's saying. There's just a lot of music. Then, Kate starts smiling and winking at Patriarchy and pulls a note out of her costume. Question mark what that is. And then it's just, Kate, you're the only one that's facing the audience. Of course they're looking at you. You are not sneaky.
She, kisses the card, but she doesn't open it. He motions to her not to read it.
Yeah, he's like, you bitch, we're on stage.
Pacified, he goes back to his final pose for the rest of the song, which is, a deep lunge on these stairs, facing the audience.
There's, 4 steps in between his legs.
He's in a leotard. Not a leotard. He's in a unitard. He's got... Clearly has the mobility, but we get a nice spotlight effect as if it's a play.
Shocking.
That fades on him, he bows, the audience claps, and while the audience is clapping and the focus is on Fred, Lily reads the card and, dun dun dun, realizes it was for Lois.
Yes. So then we're back to the play. The dad rushes in and is like, kind of, you done fucked up. And Lily starts going off script.
Just improvising Shakespeare.
She calls Fred a louse again. She starts yelling these different lines, and the actor who plays the dad turns to Fred and is like, what the fuck is going on? You gotta handle this. And then he exits.
Yeah. So Lily has come downstairs, and they are arguing in character as Kate and Patriarchy because they're still on stage.
Because this is the classic argument scene between Kate and Petruchio. Most acting people have seen someone do this scene. They start this scene and Lily is making shit up and Fred is like, "We are on stage, Lily, what are you doing?" like under his breath. But and this was where I got confused. I didn't know how much of this was choreographed, how much of this violence that's about to happen was choreographed and how much of it wasn't, because I have choreographed this fight scene before, so it can be quite violent if that's the direction you want to go. But she's elbowing him in the stomach and she tries to bite his finger, she elbows him again, she slaps him, and I wasn't clear how much of this was Lily and how much of this was Kate. You get the idea that at least some of it is not choreographed, which, Bing Boom Bong, as a fight choreographer, don't go off your choreography. You're gonna hurt people, and you're on stage, and most actors feel like they can't just say stop. Don't fucking go off your choreography. Anyway, that was just me. I can move on now.
Fred ends up overpowering Lily and pinning her arms behind her and finishes the scene. The father comes in, the rest of the characters come in. Fred walks down stage for Petruchio's final lines. Lily gets one more good slap in. The audience thinks this is hilarious, by the way.
Yes. Well, and he had threatened under his breath, he's like, "If you hit me again, I'm gonna spank you," which...
And she does, and he tosses her over his knee. Her face is to the audience, and he spanks her repeatedly. The audience also thinks this is fucking hilarious, and he continues to spank her until the curtain falls.
My first thought is, where the fuck is the stage manager coming in to yell at these two motherfuckers for being unprofessional and for getting off script?
It's a movie, Grace.
Anna? Oh, man.
The second the curtain falls...
Right, flames on the side of my face.
The second the curtain falls, Fred and Lily are at each other's throats again. Fred admits that he sent flowers and a card to Lois, and he accuses Lily of only thinking about money and says she has no soul or manners. She says he won't teach her manners in this production. She slaps him again and she storms off to her dressing room.
He has this whole moment where he thinks that he's bleeding, bruised, and broken, and the stagehand is not about it, because he pulls over who turns out to be the stage manager, because he doesn't have 80,000 other things to do, and he's just like, "Look at my face, is it bruised?" And he's like, "No." It's like, "Well, I think I might be bleeding," and he's like, "It looks fine."
He's like, "That's your foundation, you big idiot."
You big dolt.
And then Fred goes, "Go look for an x-ray in the prop closet."
Yeah, right.
We cut over to Lois and Bill. Lois is telling Bill that he has to go and tell Fred that he signed Fred's name or Lois won't help him get out of his debts anymore.
Then we cut to Lily in her dressing room, and she's on the phone with Tex and says she'll marry him tonight. She's leaving. She's not going to finish the show.
She'll marry him tonight if he sends a car for her, or an ambulance.
Right, an ambulance.
She says, "I want to go where no one will ever find me. I'll go to Texas."
So Fred then falls into the room because apparently he was listening at the door.
Yeah.
And says,
Suzanne opens the partition sliding doors between their two dressing rooms, and Fred, all 6'3" of him, comes bursting in and falls to the ground.
Says, "You can't quit in the middle of a show." And he says,
"He'll report her to Equity."
"I'll bring you up on charges to Equity." And I was like, is there a court? Is there a jail? Do they have a bailiff?
Maybe not. She goes, she hates the theater, actors, and him.
She gets undressed and throws something at him, and Fred goes to find the stage manager to get Lily's understudy ready.
Jeannie is the understudy.
At this point, Bill finds him and tries to confess to using Fred's name, but Fred isn't really paying attention because he's dealing with the fact that he might have to get an understudy for Lily.
Yeah, so Fred's like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
It's all fine. And Bill is like, "Oh, damn,
right.
Thanks."
And walks away. And as Fred is walking back to his dressing room after this, we just see this dim light bulb light up as he comprehends what Bill was saying to him. He opens his dressing room and, surprise, the two goons, Lippy and Slug, are back in there. And they're like, "When are you going to pay your debt?" And he goes like, "I didn't sign it. Oh, and I can prove it." And he goes to
get Bill, I think?
But then he has
an idea.
A single thought
really
in that big old brain.
horrible idea.
Oh boy.
And he says he did sign the IOU, but he will only have the money if the show runs for at least a week. And since Lily is quitting, he won't have the money.
Yeah, he's like, oh, if only the show could go on.
In walks Lois, trying to thank Fred for letting Bill off the hook, and she almost spills the beans that Fred isn't the one who owes the money, but he keeps kissing her to shut her up, and it happens like 3 times in a row. While that's happening, Bill and Lily walk in and both storm off.
Because they both see the kiss. Goon 1 to Goon 2 is like, maybe we should talk to this Lily person. Fred kind of ushers them in. Lippy and Slug tell Lily that the show must go on. They got a financial interest in the play. And they ask her to play through the end of the week. And then they pull a gun on her.
Yeah, and force her to get into her Act 2 costume. Also, how long is this intermission? Wild.
She goes, are you threatening me? And to the goon with the gun, he goes, no, I'm just, because he pulls it out. He's like, no, I'm just transferring the weight from this side to that side. The other one's like, the bullets are heavy.
Goons are always fun. There should be more goons.
For the record, I am not supporting pulling a gun on someone to coerce them into doing something that they don't want to do. The line was funny.
Yes.
Anyway.
Act 2 begins.
Petruchio comes out on stage in the wildest color block Technicolor
Joseph
leotard.
with his Technicolor coat. Oh my god. Except he also has a whip. And Kate enters
so funny.
with... so funny that he's threatening his wife with a whip. Kate enters with the 2 gangsters dressed as attendants in full unitards themselves and a wig and a hat.
This is Petruchio's wedding outfit, and Kate is in her wedding dress. Kate, as Lily, keeps trying to escape.
She tries to run off stage twice, but Fred and the gangsters both stop her.
The gangsters look very uncomfortable to be on stage.
They're the only joy I have. Fred throws her on the donkey like a sack, and the gangsters force her to stay there by putting one hand on the back of her neck, and my hackles rose. Fury, rage.
We get back to the treadmill.
They get back to the treadmill and do another bit on the treadmill. One of the gangsters keeps falling over because he can't quite figure out how to walk on a treadmill.
This is the reprise of I've Come to Wive It Wealthily in Padua. The song ends, they get off the treadmill. Petruchio and company get home, and he gives his servants a hard time for not being there. And then Fred, as Petruchio, has to figure out what the fuck to do with these 2 goons, because they won't leave the stage.
Yes, he tries to get them to leave.
But they won't, so he hides them behind a folding screen.
Now, these 2 grooms, extras, bring food in, but Petruchio says it's burnt, and Lily steals, a couple links of sausage on the sly.
Question, this is a scene in Taming of the Shrew,
Very much
Kate
so.
wants to eat and Petruchio won't let her. Because
yes.
We had the scene earlier where Lily wanted to eat and Fred said no, so I wasn't sure if this was...
Yeah, it's part of the play.
Okay.
He does this whole thing where he's like, I'm not going to let her sleep, I'm not going to let her eat, and this will make her a better wife.
Yeah, this is the way to kill a wife with kindness, is the quote.
Yeah, it makes me angry.
Petruchio takes Kate to the bridal chamber, and the goons follow her in. We see backstage she tries to escape, and they don't let her. Petruchio has this soliloquy that we just touched on where he'll starve her and he won't let her sleep.
Abuse monologue, I called it.
And he goes to go into the bedroom, but Kate has locked the door, and again, didn't know if this was part of the play or not. Petruchio moves to sing,
Where is the life that late I led? And honestly, I had questions. Is this song just him lamenting about all his previous fucks?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, Bing Boom Bong, theater logistics with Anna. There is, previous to this, we were in a proscenium theater. To those that didn't have to take theater class in college, that is what you think of with your traditional theater, where the audience is in one rectangle, essentially, seating, and you're all facing the same way. Suddenly, and this wasn't a transition that was made in intermission, this is a instantaneous transition at the end of this scene, there is a catwalk with set pieces on it.
Yes. Who is sitting behind that catwalk? Those poor people have...
The sight lines are so bad.
So bad.
But Petruchio comes out onto this catwalk and is on the end of it, essentially, for this entire song. And the song is him wishing for his bachelorhood and the fun he had.
He literally has a little black book with all the names.
Yes.
Fury.
He rhymes behind and wind by saying wind. Anyway, the song ends, and again, this was a thing that probably worked way better in 3D, but he just as if he was in a harness, just floats backwards towards the stage, and suddenly the catwalk is gone.
Yeah. Insanity. He finishes the song, and the stage manager says there's a madman here with an ambulance. Surprise, it's Tex.
We hear in a Texas accent, "Where's my little girl? Where's Lily?"
So he's there to help her, but while she's singing the reprise, I Hate Men, which is the next bit of the play, Fred tells Tex she's just showing an artist's temperament and basically just gaslights her entire experience.
Tex, like, why did Lily ask for an ambulance? And Fred's like, she's being dramatic. You clearly don't spend time with artistic types. She might even tell you she's playing the show against her will and wants you to call the FBI, but she's just being dramatic. Ha! Women.
Yep. So, curtain comes down, Lily comes off stage, she sees Tex, and she says exactly what Fred has said that she would say, like, I'm being forced at gunpoint, these two people are gangsters, they have a gun on me, call the FBI, and Tex, having been told by a man that his fiancé is insane, is like, definitely gonna believe this man over my fiancé. So then they all go up to her dressing room, and Fred starts talking about the life she'll have in Texas, riding on a horse, no one around, and, like, graphically describes her branding a cow, and one of the gangsters faints at this description.
I wasn't sure if Fred was trying to talk her out of it, being like you're the skin's gonna sizzle and it'll be gross.
I think he was.
But it backfires, just one of the goons just faints.
And she pours a whole pitcher of water on him.
Mm-hmm. And then she kicks them all out of her dressing room. Tex has left the dressing room because he was kicked out by Lily, and he comes backstage. Yes. Where between acts, Lois turns and sees Tex.
I wasn't clear whether or not she actually had seen him before, or if she was just making this up to flirt with him.
It's not clear. He's like, sorry, man, you must have the wrong man. She goes, wrong man, my foot. I never forget a wealthy face.
Bill sees her flirting and storms out, and Lois chases after him.
They go into the alley behind the theater.
And they sing the reprise of Why Can't You Behave. This time it's Bill singing to her because she keeps flirting. Why Can't You Behave then transitions into I'm always true to you, darling, in my fashion. The whole song is basically, she says, if she gets gifts, she'll flirt and or fuck anyone.
The actor that plays Bill doesn't really sing much. His is more talk singing.
Cut to...
Wait. We have a cameo.
Oh, right, the sailor.
There is a very brief moment of a random sailor loitering in this alley, and he walks past, and Lois kind of flirts with him. I full-on thought that was Bing Crosby at first.
No, that's our choreographer.
That's the choreographer of this film.
Whose name is Hermes Pan. Great name.
He and Bing have both have, like, the same big ears.
I completely see where you're coming from.
Lois chases Bill back inside.
We see Tex telling someone to let Lily know that he's going to be waiting for her outside in the car.
We pan to the goons,
who are on the phone to their boss, and they hear him...
Wait. I have this written down.
Okay, please do, because it was a wild sequence.
So one of the goons, the goon who got the water poured on him, is wringing out his wig, and the other is on the phone. And he's trying to talk to their boss on the phone. I think it's just, like, trying to explain the situation of, like...
what's going on and why they're still out.
But he's told he can't talk to the boss because the boss is in conference with Muggsy Higgins, who's the big boss from the South Side. And he's like, well, I want to talk to him anyway. The person on the other line is like, you can't. He's tied up to a chair. And he's like, well, let me talk to him anyway. And then through the phone, we hear bang, 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 gun, shooty, shooty.
So we hear their boss...
murdered. Goon 2 hangs up. Fred walks by, and the goon stops him and is like, this is the end of our association. Your debit is canceled. Your debit is canceled because the boss is dead.
So now there's no reason that the gangsters would make Lily continue the performance. So Lily comes downstairs, and they tell her it's been a pleasure.
She's trying to sneak out.
They're like, you're free to go, and they go to get changed. Lily says goodbye to Fred, and he says she belongs in the theater. And she says, you have my understudy, it won't be the same, bullshit, trying to get her to stay. And he does have a bit where he ends up taking responsibility for their marriage ending. And it seems like she is sort of swayed by this, but then enters Suzanne with her common sense and her Frenchness and is like, Lily, what the fuck? Let's go. And she leaves. Yay.
Fred goes like, no one could replace Lily on stage or off. And he almost tells her he loves her, but he doesn't say it. So she leaves and he's sad. Cut to outside, Lily gets into Tex's car that has long horns on it.
Oh, great.
And Fred walks out of the theater to see her drive away. The two goons, now out of their costumes and back in their goon suits, come out and they see how sad he is. And so they cheer him up, kind of in the sense of like, hey, you know what? You'll get another girl. You know what women love? Women love Shakespeare. And if you quote Shakespeare to any woman, she'll fall in love with you. And they start to sing the song, Brush Up Your Shakespeare.
This is a great song. This is one of my joys of this movie. It's just these two, again, like blunt noses, strong jaws, and just having all of these Shakespeare puns. It was such a joy.
And one can clearly tap dance and the other can't.
Cannot. Their dance break is very silly.
They address it. They're like, well, this one like does the thing and the other one just like cannot dance. So instead of trying to, I appreciated that they leaned into that.
Yes, and they have all of these Shakespeare puns. The one that I wrote down that made me actually pause the movie and laugh out loud was, you know, if the girl doesn't like your Shakespeare, kick her in the Coriolanus.
The quote is, if she says your behavior is heinous, kick her right in the Coriolanus. We had a butthole joke in 1953!
Oh, man. So, the song ends. Fred laughs and thanks them and goes inside for the finale. And the gangsters finish this song direct to camera.
Direct to camera. Back in the theater, Act 3 begins with Bianca's wedding to Lucencio. She comes down from the chapel with him, and the ensemble leaves except for the other two lovers. They all kiss her. Bianca was the original polygamist. You can't tell me not.
Correct.
And we have this great big dance number to the song From This Moment On.
Gremio and Hortensio sort of mope that they didn't marry Bianca, but they find two other girls and they dance.
They're bridesmaids.
Yes. Each couple has their own dance break. And so it starts with Bianca and Lutencio.
And again, her big vacant eyes and smile directly into camera ruined this for me.
And then the next two come out, and it's all sort of what you think of classic musical theater dancing of the 50s. And then, total shift, enter Bob Fosse. And it was funny because I was like, oh, someone else choreographed this, but Bob Fosse's a dancer. Like, I wonder if I'm going to be able to tell which one. Surprise, yes, you fucking can. Because it turns out Bob Fosse choreographed this 60-second dance number that he did, and you can fucking tell. It's amazing.
Can I confess something?
Tell me.
So I watched this movie over 2 days, and I think this was the second day. I had forgotten that Bob Fosse was in this movie because his character doesn't have any lines. So, like, I had that moment when I first watched it. I was like, fuck, Bob Fosse's in this?
Yeah.
In the opening credits. And we got to this, and I was like, wow, is this Fosse? Like, this is really out of left field, but, like, it's great. And then I remembered after I had watched this movie that, wait, not only was that Fosse-esque, that was fucking Bob Fosse.
That was Bob Fosse, and he choreographed it with that girl. So this is going to be my show note, is to go and watch just this, like, 60-second dance break, because it is phenomenal. It's so good.
Very out of context for this movie.
It makes no sense with the tone of the movie, but oh my god, it's incredible. And this was what sort of pushed him into the world of choreography, and this is what brought attention to him, because before he was just trying to be an actor dancer, and then suddenly they see this and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is something new.
This dance ends. Patriarchy comes out in what looks like an all-red velvet unitard, and he looks so sad.
Kate and Bianca's dad also comes out, and they sort of vamp while they wait for the understudy. You know, in my mind, I was like, she had 2 whole numbers to get ready. Like, why is she not in costume? Finally, we get the entrance, but Petruchio's not looking, and he hears the first line, and it's Lily. Lily has come back, she is in costume, and she gives the final monologue about how women should be subservient to their husbands, and I flew into a rage.
Lily delivers Kate's final speech. It is the song, I'm Ashamed That Women Are So Simple. And during this, Fred's back is, again, fully to the audience. After she finishes the speech, Kate is on her knees in front of Petruchio because one of the final lines is about how she would take Petruchio's hand in her foot in her hand. And she finishes the speech and she makes eye contact with Fred and she whispers, Fred. So he knows she's actually talking about him. He understands. He helps her to her feet. Another big ol' smooch, just mashing faces together. They sing the finale. It's the song Kiss Me, Kate. Fred lifts Lily into his arms.
Because he is a giant.
She sneaks his pocketbook out of his breast pocket that had all his girls' names in it, and he laughs and goes, "A pox on the life that late I led," in reference to his fuckery notebook, and she throws it in the air. But the final note of this number is Kate and Petruchio, Lily and Fred, superimposed, flying over the audience and, like, into your screen, and definitely was cool in 3D. Very weird in 2D, and that's how this movie ends.
Oh, God. Anna, I hated it.
This was a movie.
It was of an age, and that age was anger. Yeah, I didn't like this movie. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Interested. So there was a 2019 revival of this starring Kelly O'Hara and Corbin Bleu, and a lot of other Broadway people, and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, it wasn't a musical that I grew up listening to. Maybe if I had a bit more of a relationship with it, I would have fought harder to see it, but I am poor.
Yes.
But I would have been, now having seen the movie, I would have been interested to see how, not only how they are different, but also what changes were made to maybe, we can't do anything about the fact that, like, this was written in the, you did the script part, 40s?
Something like that, yeah.
It is a dated piece. The values of society are different.
And also, it's based on The Taming of the Shrew, which is written even earlier, and the women were not really considered people.
So, like how you talked about different endings of My Fair Lady with the slippers line, I would have been interested to see other productions of Kiss Me Kate, and also Taming of the Shrew, and how that is handled today.
We should move into
Dramaturgy Report. This was directed by George Sidney, who was an American film director and producer who worked primarily at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Mayer? Unclear. I like
MGM.
this. His father was an executive at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, and he helped his son get a job there, but, like, first as a messenger, and he worked his way up. He didn't plunk him into, like, a big corner office. Like, George worked his way up. He started directing screen tests, then short comedies, then features. He did a lot of large-scale musicals, including the 1950 Annie Get Your Gun, 1951 Showboat, as well as 1957 Pal Joey, and 1963 Bye Bye Birdie, which was at Columbia Pictures, which wasn't Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. And he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Nice!
The cinematographer was Charles Rocher. He was an English-born cinematographer. His first job in the burgeoning film industry was David Horsley's Centaur Film Company, which was based in New Jersey, but because early film was largely restricted to using daylight, that production company was moved to Hollywood in 1911. Rocher was brought with them, and David Horsley opened what is the first movie studio there. This made Rocher, Charlie Rocher, the first full-time cameraman in Hollywood.
Oh, that's nice.
In 1918, Charles Rocher was one of the first founders of the American Society of Cinematographers. He is the first cinematographer to receive an Academy Award.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So the writer of this, so there's two writers that I'm going to talk about. The first is the writer of the original play, musical.
William Shakespeare?
No. Let's go
Have you
back
heard
to
of
Shakespeare.
Him? Bill Shakespeare.
The writer of the book for Kiss Me Kate was a couple called Bella and Samuel Spewak, I think. They were approached to write the book for Kiss Me Kate in 1948, and they were both dealing with their own marital woes, which sort of ended up flavoring the angst between Lily and Fred.
Love that.
Now, Bella, the wife, initially began working with composer Cole Porter on her own, but theatrical necessity forced the husband into helping complete the project. And it got them Tony Awards for Best Musical and Best Author of a Musical, and it was their most successful work as a writing couple. So that was the original play of Kiss Me Kate. Now the script for the movie of Kiss Me Kate was adapted by Dorothy Kingsley. She worked without credit on a lot of things, or she was co-credited.
Boo.
I know. She normally worked alone before or after other screenwriters had finished up. She was also nominated for a Writers Guild of America award for this movie. Now, the music and lyrics, obviously, by Cole Porter, you know, the character and real-life person. So, Cole Porter's super famous. I mean, a lot of his songs are standards now and all over Broadway and in film and stuff like that. He didn't really get success until about the 30s, and he was different because he wrote most of the lyrics and the music for his songs, whereas most of the time it was a partnership in which a team effort in which one wrote the music and one wrote the lyrics, but he did both. But he had a really bad horseback riding accident, which I think we mentioned earlier, in 1937, and he was left disabled. But his big comeback was in 1948 for Kiss Me Kate, which is his most successful musical. It ran for 1,077 performances. It won the first Tony Award for Best Musical. So this was the first time that that category had been added to the Tonys, and it won the first one. And Cole Porter won for Best Composer and Lyricist for this show. So the choreographer for this is Hermes Pan. People thought his name was fake because it sounds fake, but it wasn't. He's Greek, and his first name is actually Hermes, and his last name is a very long Greek name that starts with Pan, so he just shortened it.
Panagiotopoulos.
Oh, I'm so glad you have it. I did not write it down. So he choreographed most of the dance routines except for that duet that Bob Fosse did, which includes a full backflip. So for the actors, I only really focused on the main four. So Kathryn Grayson was Lily Vanessa, or Kate, and it was her second role with Howard Keel. They had starred together in the 1951 remake of Showboat, which I'm sure we'll get to eventually. Howard Keel was Fred and or Patriarchy. Now, he was a huge Broadway person early on, so he started with Carousel and was also in Oklahoma, which totally makes sense. You can see him.
Oh my god,
that opening number.
I got goosebumps.
He accomplished a feat that has never been duplicated on Broadway since. He performed the leads in both shows on the same day. Wild.
What?
Yeah, so I think he did a matinee as one, and then he went and did the evening performance as the other.
Cool.
Ann Miller was Lois, and she was really famous for her speed tap dancing. It was rumored that she could tap 500 times per minute, but really the sound of the ultra-fast taps was looped in later. Because stage floors were waxed, you can actually tap on them in real tap shoes. She had to dance with rubber treads on her soles, and then she would loop in the sounds of her taps while watching the film and actually dancing on a tap board to match her steps. So
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, her taps were dubbed in, but she dubbed in her own taps, which is really great.
This was her favorite film, she said later.
Yes. She had a great time. Honestly, it looked like she had a great time.
I could tell from
with
the unwavering eye
huge
contact.
Smile and eye contact. Last one is Tommy Rall, who played Bill, or Lucentio. Okay, so this is one of the weird stories that I found for him. So in 2007, a dance instructor by the name of Frederick Brame was found to have been posing as Tommy Rall since the late 1960s. So his biographies, resumes, and playbills all support that Brame was Frederick Brame, aka Tommy Rall, by the credits listed. And when the actual Rall found out about this masquerade decades later, he contacted a sheriff's office. I know, he wasn't arrested and no legal action was taken since he technically didn't commit a crime, at least not at the time, or maybe it was like past the point in which he could prosecute, but Rall just wanted to make sure that Brame stopped taking credit for his work, and if he did it again, a lawsuit would be filed. I mean, like, this guy pretended to be him for like decades.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, insanity.
In regards to reception, Kiss Me Kate had its preview screenings in October of 1953 and was released nationwide in November of 1953. It was released during what's called the golden era of 3D, which was a short-lived period in the early 50s, when studios employed 3D filmmaking as a way to lure audiences back to cinemas after, like, the boom of television. But the film had a mostly positive reception. In terms of awards, it was nominated for Best Music Scoring at the 1954 Oscars. It didn't win. It was also nominated at the 1954 Writers Guild Awards for Best Written American Musical. It didn't win. we're back with the Hayes Act, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
The Hayes Act, as we spoke about in My Fair Lady.
Some Like It Hot.
Ah, there you go. Some Like It Hot was just like we've done like 2 movies and I screwed that one up. The Hayes Act censored a lot of lyrics, which is honestly why I was so surprised we got that Coriolanus joke.
Truly.
But a lot of Cole Porter's lyrics were considered very sexual for society standards, especially for the time. And a lot of lyrics were either cut or changed to be more general about marriage and relationships versus direct references to sex. They like alluded to it, but they didn't. Nothing
Fully go for
explicit.
it.
There's actual singing in this.
Like we've been saying, Howard Keel has an incredible voice. And the woman who played Lily,
Kathryn Grayson,
has a very lovely soprano.
Yeah,
And
the Wunderbar really highlighted that. As we said before,
Yes.
I Hate Men just didn't work for her vocal range.
And So in Love also highlighted it as well.
She's great.
Yeah, those two were by far the standouts for singing. In terms of dancing, as we have talked about, Bob Fosse was the standout. Shocking.
Definitely the standout dancers were Ann Miller and the guy that played Bill.
It was fun to watch them dance, which is always great. I think we've both gone through a lot of our gripes.
My biggest gripe, first up, my gripe is just men. But specifically, what's actually my gripe is that fucking catwalk that appeared in Where Is the Life That I Led. It's even included in several, like, goofs sections of online trivia about this movie. I'm like, that is not a goof, that was a choice, and it was a bad one.
It was a bad choice. I mean, we mentioned how insane the stage was for this entire thing. Yeah, no, I will join you on that gripe, along with my own personal rant about making sure that you don't fucking change your fight choreography.
My moment of joy was honestly every good dance number, but then it was ruined by direct eye contact.
That's true. Also, I mean, moment of joy truly is the Fosse dance moment and brush up your Shakespeare.
Yeah, I failed to mention that in the choreography dance section, but there was some good dancing in that, and I enjoyed that number.
Yes. Which leads me to my fun fact, my only fun fact, which is, so the 2 goons, which were played by Keenan Wynn and James Whitmore, they didn't rehearse their number more than once or twice because they thought it was silly. And then when it came time to shoot it, they made so many fumbles and mistakes, which the director thought was on purpose. And then he complimented them on making it look like something a couple of thugs would perform, and they just never told him that they just didn't rehearse.
Yeah, this was a movie that existed.
It existed. And I would give it no stars. No, I would give it like maybe 2 stars, 1 for Howard Keel's voice and 1 for the dancing. And 1 for the goons. 3 stars out of 10.
I give it out of 10. I think we got a 5.
No.
Like 3 out of 10 sounds good. I enjoyed the dancing, I enjoyed the singing, I enjoyed the aesthetics, I did not enjoy the plot. All right, we are 5678, a movie musical podcast. We are available for streaming pretty much everywhere.
All the places.
We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can follow us there for updates and teasers of what we will be tackling next.
Yes. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, praise, you can email us at 5678 a movie musical podcast at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Any reviews or stars or ratings you can give us on any of your streaming platforms would be great. We would love to expand our listenership beyond just our immediate friends.
Yeah, the more people that leave us reviews, the more the algorithm shoots us out onto the pages of people who aren't our immediate friends. Also, make sure you click follow so that the next episode is just immediately downloaded into your listening device. Yeah. We're so happy to do this. We really enjoy this. Didn't enjoy this movie, but we enjoy doing this.
I enjoyed hating it.
Oh, man.
5, 6, 7, 8. There's no business like show business, like no business I know.